Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Newspaper Analysis Townhall. So today we are going to discuss these three themes which are very important for pre as well as mains examination. Now let us try to start the first article that we are going to decode, and that is, what is Netanyahu's endgame in Iran, or what is Israel's endgame in Iran? So why Israel has attacked Iran? And more importantly, where in Iran? Please write in comments if you know. So first, Israel has attacked Iran because it wants to destroy Iran's nuclear program. Israel considers Iran's nuclear program as existential threat for itself, because nuclear power with any country enables it to have a deterrence. You can see the case of North Korea. Right? Now let us try to see where it has attacked. In order to destroy the nuclear program of Iran, Israel wants these three sites completely gone. Which are these sites? This is Natanz. We discussed it in our previous town hall also. This is Fordo and this is Isfahan. Now, Natanz has been attacked earlier by Israel on the first night of attack. However, is it destroyed completely? No. According to International Atomic Energy Agency chief, it is destroyed only partially. Why? Because the main enrichment center is underground, where Israel bombs cannot make the impact. So this is the limitation. Now this is Fordo, and this is the most important uranium enrichment site in Iran. It has not been destroyed yet, and Israel does not have capacity to destroy Fordo uranium enrichment site because it is deep underground, below mountains. The bunker buster bombs that Israel is having, they are of no use. That is why Israel want US help. That is why Israel want US involvement in this war. Why? Because US has the best bunker buster bomb. Now let us see this bomb. You can see here, this is the bomb. Its name is GBU-57. Its weight is 13,600 kg. So you can see, if you throw any object which is of around 14 ton from air, just also because of its sheer weight, it will tear down under the surface. Now let us see some important aspect about this bunker buster bomb. These bombs explode twice. Once when they touch the surface, and let's say here is the uranium site, they will reach here, and then the second blast would be here. So they will completely destroy the underground site. And this GBU-57 can hit 61 meter below surface. And one important thing is that it can only be deployed by B-2 stealth bomber, that is US plane. So even if US give this bomb to Israel, Israel does not have capacity to deploy it over Fordo uranium enrichment site. So that is why Israel want US involvement. Now this is, you can see, this is the B-2 stealth bomber. This is how it looks. And this you can see, this is centrifuge machines. This is underground facility that Israel wants to destroy in Iran. What happens in centrifuge? These are the machines which rotate at, let's say, 50,000 to 1 lakh round per minute, and it separates uranium 235 from uranium 238. So uranium 235 is important for as a fissile material to make nuclear bomb. Now, having learned all of these, let us try to understand what are the options that are available with Israel. So first is the collapse of state itself. So present regime change. Netanyahu has said that they will not hesitate in killing supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini. They believe that by killing him, the regime can be changed. However, for now, US does not want this. Trump has said that he has not allowed this. Next option is diplomacy, which US is already in talks with Iran, and US president still believes that there can be a deal with Iran. But what is the problem? Problem is that US want complete end to nuclear program. However, Iran is not ready for complete end to its nuclear program. Now, the third option is that American involvement in war. Right now, Trump has warned Iran to not attack US bases near its country, to not attack US soldiers. Even inside America, there is very less support for foreign war. And Trump's own foreign policy does not support that. So let us see which options out of these will come out in the course of time. So presently, if you see, we had already discussed the axis of resistance. It is already weak. What is axis of resistance? These are the proxies of Iran supporters. So this is Iran. In Yemen, you will find Houthis that fight on behalf of Iran. In Gaza, you will find Hamas. In Iraq, there are organizations which are pro-Iran. And in Syria, there was whole regime of Bashar al-Assad, which is now gone. So that is why Iran is also at its weak moment. What are the implications? If Iran falls, or if there is a regime change in Iran, or if Iran surrenders, then Russian influence in West Asian region will decline. Presently, Russia has good relationship with Iran. It used to have very good relationship with Syrian government also, but now the government of Bashar al-Assad is not there. So this relationship, due to surrender of Iran or regime change, Russian influence in West Asia will decline, which will lead to US hegemony. China presently has a very good relationship with Iran. It imports a lot of oil from Iran. Now, if there is a regime change in Iran, then it will have to depend more on countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, etc., which are already ally of US. So it will help US in managing China also. So these are the implications. Okay. So my question to you is, does any country apart from US has bunker buster bomb? Please answer in comment. Now moving on to our second report and second news, that is CPRI. What is CPRI? It is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. It is a global think tank which release report every year that tells about nuclear arms with different countries. So let us see what this report says. Now, according to this report, the inventory with China has gone up. It now has around 600 nuclear arms. Earlier, it used to have 500. In India has also increased from 170 to 180. Last year, India had 170 nuclear arms. Now it has 180. The Russia and US nuclear stockpile has declined a bit. There are total 12,241 nuclear arms, and out of which 3,912 are deployed. Now, my question to you is, how many countries have nuclear bombs? Please write in comment and write their names also. Now let us try to analyze one more important news, because this is related to this news only. This news mentions New START treaty. Let us see what is this New START, that is New Strategic Arm Reduction Treaty, is a bilateral treaty between Russia and US. What it does? It limits the deployment of nuclear warhead by both countries to 1550. It means US cannot deploy more than 1550 nuclear warhead against Russia, and Russia cannot deploy more than 1550 warhead against US. This is a legally binding treaty, and this is going to expire in 2026. So if it is expire, it will lead to increase in arm race. US will increase its nuclear stockpile. Why? Because China is also increasing it. Now let us try to see this news. Prime Minister has said that Prime Minister will highlight Global South at G7 meet. Now let us try to understand what Global South means. Before that, we have already covered about G7 earlier, but let us briefly see which are the countries: US, Canada, UK, France, Italy, Germany, Japan. These are the G7 countries. This is informal grouping. Okay. Now let us try to understand what Global North and Global South is. So here in this map, you can see clearly, this is Global North. These are the historically rich countries, developed countries. You will find Europe, North America, Russia. In Global South, you will find South America, Africa, Caribbean countries, and Asian countries. This is Global South. Now, when we analyze Global South, these countries have low income, high poverty, high population growth, poor infrastructure, and lack of living standards. standard of living. So these countries are historically poor countries. These countries are historically exploited by global north. You can see Australia is in global north. It is not part of global south. Similarly, Israel and Japan and South Korea is also part of global north. What is South-South cooperation? It is a cooperation of global south countries to challenge political and economic dominance of global north. India is considered as leader of global south. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have any question, you can just write down in comments.